Definitely an awkward point to cut that last clip there. Still, this should be the last one with this bit of raw footage. Now let's start clearing out this room. Definitely would prefer having a good deal more health, but hey, not much I can do about that with the way the energy shows up after we destroy crates and kill enemies. How is that guy unaware of us when we've been as subtle as a tank? The guy didn't even bother shooting back. Are we out of his range for his gun or something? Apparently not, since the other pirates down there are shooting right back at us. Probably not the best idea to drop right in the middle of these guys, but still, it's a 2-on-1 with the most difficult kind of pirate they've got to throw at us at this point. Huh, never seen them get knocked down like that before. Son of a bitch, I'm just barely above 1 energy tank left, and that prick gives me missiles when we're full for those? Just what is this game's algorithm for healing items? Doesn't matter what flight pattern you've got. We've been taking our flyers down so fast, you should retire the jetpacks. I don't suppose we're ever going to see what that simulation for Samus is. I'm sure we're performing better than they anticipated considering the sheer amount of damage we're doing. But then maybe it's just a case of the parameters they have for how much damage she can take and how she reacts are closer to what we were like at the start of the game. And granted, I'm not especially great at dodging hits in this game, but we're most certainly in a better place now than we were when we first landed on the planet. Right, so we've got a more capable elite to have to worry about later on then. Ah, he's got a healing factor of some kind. That's gonna make things troublesome. Especially considering how iffy our own healing seems to be in this game. Energy recovery is our single biggest disadvantage. And it's not like we can do anything to erase Phazon or something to prevent that thing from healing. Or at least I don't think we will when that fight ends up happening. Let me guess, the moment we turn off the force field for the door, we have to deal with another of these elites. Okay, so it didn't release one of those big guys. That's a relief. Now, what is actually in here? Okay, that's just sent us back where we came from. And since I don't want to have to deal with those pirates respawning, let's not go back the way we came. Well, I'm sure there were plenty of volunteers, and we're most certainly appreciating how their armor has been holding up. Definitely more interesting to have to deal with them than the standard armors, that's for sure. Right! Of course some of those elites are going into storage. This place was meant to be a factory for those things. Assuming factory is actually the right word for it, they're making the damn things on this planet, and as far as we know, this is their only source of phazon which is needed for something. But maybe it's just that I'm spoiled by the idea of places like Camino from Star Wars. The massive number of clones you could see being worked on screen. Yeesh. Really hard to compare to a setup like that, and it's pretty unfair of me to compare the operations the pirates have on this planet to goddamn Camino. That's about as bad as comparing a bunch of people cobbling together a bunch of cars from scrap in a yard by hand to General Motors mass-producing brand new cars. Maybe not the best comparison, but it's the first one that came to mind. Well, don't really see any sign of where a save point could be, and this room looks important enough that entering it might be pushing my luck. Okay, what am I even being shot at by? Thermal visor can't see it, regular visor can't see it, and I'm so worn down that I'm very much nervous dealing with an absolute unknown. Well, it doesn't seem to move around that much, but we need to move around to avoid getting it in return. Okay, apparently I don't actually have to move. What is even going on here? Is it even right to call this a fight? Yeah. The energy low notification certainly feels justified here. I have no clue what I was even exchanging fire with there. All I know is that somehow that let us make some progress, and I'm hoping there's quite a bit of healing in our near future. Huh. Wonder why we didn't hear that soft beeping noise while we were fighting. Anyway, it doesn't look like we have any means out of here at the moment. So, random pets are a threat, but not the things that you're actively making into deadly monsters. Because of course that somehow makes sense. Ah! So when someone becomes too crazy to work on anything delicate, you just discard them. Funny how one message implies that they care about the lives of their people, but the next outright says that they're discarding people like tissue paper. Bloody hell, we just don't have any luck when it comes to healing items around here. Not really seeing any point in jumping around, but it at least feels less dangerous than dropping into that electricity-covered place when we're this damn damaged. But apparently we have no choice but to go through the explicitly dangerous maze below. I suppose that's one way to add some tension down here. I was saying that this game was quite the downgrade in tension overall from the 2D games, especially after Fusion and Dread, which I did just before switching to the 3D part of the series. I just wasn't expecting the tension to come back in this particular way. Getting the odd feeling I made a wrong turn somewhere. Right, another dead end. I don't suppose anyone happens to know any experienced mice, do they? Not that there's a piece of cheese at the end of this, but I'm sure they would have experience with this sort of thing. Okay, that's an interesting way to make some progress. Now, I kind of feel like an idiot for not trying to drop a bomb on that water before. But to be fair, this is the first time in the game we had to do that specific thing in this game. Definitely a very unique puzzle compared to everything else we've had to deal with so far. And I've got to say, I appreciate unique puzzles more than ones that are essentially just a very small change in the same little minigame. Right, and we're done with that. I suppose that's one way to gain the power bomb. As much as I appreciate the new weapon that will open up numerous doors for us, I'd prefer to be able to heal right now. Oh, that save point is very much appreciated. As tempting as it would be to end the clip right there, though, I think I can fit some more into this one. And dear God, do I appreciate the fact that save points in the Metroid Prime games replenish our health and ammo all the time. Though I'm most certainly not a fan of just how far away this one was from the previous one we used. That was just downright obscene. Well, that's certainly quite a few turrets the instant we got through the door. Dear God, if we'd gone through here without getting to that save point, we'd have had to go through about an hour's worth of exploring all over again. Oh, come on! You mean to tell me that there was a morph ball hole we could have used to avoid all those turrets? Yeah, that was absolutely a perfect workaround for those turrets there. Entirely my fault for not noticing it, but can you blame me, considering just how many clips that last recording session took up? Okay, just what interrupted my scanning? Okay, apparently a lot of Metroids got loose and the pirates want to keep them from getting in here to eat them. I'm really hoping one of these consoles turns that force field off, just so we can see the poor pirates getting ripped to shreds by some of the creatures they themselves brought to the planet. So they're just infecting everything they can with Phazon before they have a full understanding of the stuff. Definitely easy to see the hints of the trouble that's gonna come in the next 2 Metroid Prime games, just based on that. Interesting, but it's not like I have any idea of what the date is right now, so no clue if they've already passed that timeline. And how long until those volunteers don't have a choice but to join the hunting parties because of all the casualties you've been taking? And here come some more casualties for you poor bastards. As nice as it is for enemies to be slaughtering enemies, I'd rather not jump into the chaos instantly. Okay, that was a lot closer than I expected. Definitely odd that this game made Metroid so much easier to deal with than the 2D games, where they were downright terrifying in their baby form. Why the hell was there even energy down here for us to collect when Metroids explicitly drain energy from living things? And that apparently does it for all the threats in this room. Again, no health energy from the crates. Should I just not bother looking for health items whenever we get injured? Because their drop rate is downright garbage, considering how much health we actually have. Anyway, that looks like quite a bit of Phazon there. I assume there's a way past it, but do we have the means to do so at this point? Or does it explicitly require the grapple beam? Yeah, already noticed that they grew incredibly massive. Is there really nothing further to say about the Phazon-infected fungus? Good God, with that much Phazon on the ground, we might need the outright screw attack, not just a grapple beam to get past this point. I'm afraid they didn't have time to do much of anything once the force field went down other than just die. I'm pretty sure taking them from their homeworld and experimenting on them is antagonizing enough, much less keeping them in cages most of the time. But then, I suppose I'm more empathetic than the average bastard around here. Odd to say, considering I like making the pirates suffer, but, what can you do? Right, incredibly helpful to turn off the turrets when they're already destroyed. Okay, so we've got a number of ice pirates here, waiting to get frozen. That certainly didn't take long, though it did do more damage than I was expecting. Good thing the save point is so close. Why am I even bothering trying to grab healing items when the save point is just past the next door?